So here's a fun little lesson in electronic manufacturing. For those of you who didn't already know, manufacturers don't want you taking apart their electronics and fixing them yourself, because if you do that, they're not making money on replacements. Usually what'll happen is you get a controller with stick drift or something else on it breaks because you get mad and you throw it and it ends up breaking. They don't want you tearing it apart and fixing it yourself. They want you to either A, buy a new one, or B, send it to them to fix. And they have ways of making sure you do that. And there are ways to get around that. One lovely little example of this is this bolt right here. And if you probably are paying attention, you'll notice that little thing coming up in the center of the bit. Now, if you have the tool set that I have, and you go right here to your little star bits, you'll notice, oh, they're solid. All of them are solid. So, wait a minute. How do you get that out of there? Well, that's one of the ways that they make sure you can't. And I'm going to show you a way to get around that. If you really look at it, there's a tiny space between that little centerpiece and those outer little triangle bits. So you take a little flathead that's small enough to get in there, and then you just stick it in there, and it fits just barely between that little center bit and the outer star. And you can use that to get that little bolt right out of there. Little screw, whatever. Little recap. Manufacturers don't want you taking apart their shit. You can do it anyway. And it's usually more cost efficient if you do it that way. Granted, you might have to make investments. Like at the moment, I currently have some disconnected wires here. That needs to go right back onto there. But I can't do that because I don't have a soldering iron. I'm going to buy one. Those are like $20 if you get a cheap one. That's an investment. But if you buy that, then you can start fixing your own electronics for cheaper. Because I guarantee you, buying those parts, those can be used, if you buy the materials, like soldering material, can be used for more than one project. And it's a hell of a lot cheaper than buying an entire new remote. So, there's your lesson, Internet. Good night.